You're no match for me.
Who you hurts me? Oh wait. Who you hurts me? I don't know the answer. They just put some money in her teeth. Then put down a pen. Ricky Snapple Taylors on my feet.
Boys and girls, welcome back to Dreadman Interviews, where the mic is mine, but the floor is yours. And here I got a special guest for me tonight. I got Marcus Small, the founder and creator of Priest Comics. Marcus, how you doing this evening?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. Now let's get right into the nitty gritty. You are the founder and the creator of Priest Comics. Tell us, so far so good. Like as far as being a comic book artist and creator, what's that experience been like for you? And how did you get started? What was a few of your inspirations?
Start on TikTok really, and looking up stuff that like just people that were doing it. You know, after reading a couple of comics, I thought to myself basically like, oh, I'm gonna try this out. And getting on TikTok, basically getting the information and going about it like different. It's been an obstacle, so far, but it's starting off pretty good now. But inspiration came from all over: Black Panther, Batman, Blade, and so much around it. But we're getting to where we want to be. We're getting there.
Yeah, for sure. Because a process like that, it's not an overnight process. I mean, because even if you look at guys like Stan Lee, may he rest in peace, and Jack Kirby and Bob Kane, the creators of Batman, like it wasn't an overnight process for them. Like, I think Stan Lee got his start at like 19, and didn't get his big break until he was like what, in his early 30s, something like that.
Yeah, about 30, about 34, 35, something like that. I think. Yeah, I remember his I forgot what his other one was. Dang it. But yeah, it was definitely around that time.
Yeah. So guess what? It's a slow process. Don't get discouraged if you're not where you want to be. I mean, but then again, we're in the social media era where it's a lot it's a lot easier to get your material out and get the message out to where you want to get it. So don't get discouraged. But anyway, right now, so what is your premier character for Priest Comics?
Premier character is my basic OC character. My original character is Priest. That's where basically the name came from. Basically, he's a little bit of Batman mixed up with Black Panther, mixed up with Blade a little bit, with Nightcrawler a little bit. That's probably the most one. But he's a basically Marine that he got dishonorably discharged and all that from the Marine, so he ended up in Japan. He didn't go back home. He's been gone for like 13 years and all that from his home. So right now, but he ended up in Japan, stayed there for 3 years, then he's headed back home, to Star City. That's the name of the city that he's going to be his home. Basically our city. But must be a little different, but I have different characters I'm working on, but he's the main one. I'm trying to work on probably about 6 issues for him. His first series is going to be about 6 issues.
Ooh, yeah, awesome. Yeah, I like the origin story. Now let's get super villain. What is his role gallery of villains going to be like?
Oh man, since he's street level. I mean, I'm going a little different route with this. Like, I'm Christian at the same time, so they're gonna be like Bible verses in there too.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna like reach out to some churches and stuff and show them a couple things. But he's a difficult man. He doesn't want to kill, but if he has to kill, he will. But when it comes to his villains, most of them are street tier. Then you got like the holy ones, the billionaires. Something like Green Goblin.
Okay, yeah.
I got us like him, but the main villain he's gonna be going against is a guy named Cross.
Ooh.
He's able to basically control electricity, and like he's a gang member. But that's his starting out. But I have a lot more like villains long like going down the road for him.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I love the concept of the villain because like in a hero villain story, the villain always has to be somewhat stronger than the hero, so that way the hero actually has something to overcome. And I think that you can tell one hell of a story in just 6 issues.
Yeah. My first issue, I'm gonna try to make about 50 page. It's gonna be about 50 page issue, and I'm trying to tell the story. Basically, it's gonna start with him just coming back to Star City. It's not gonna start with Japan. That story about what he went through over there will be later down the road. But so far, I'll be like him coming back home to Star City and seeing that his city is not what it used to be. Gangs have basically taken over. The police department's corrupted, and he comes in touch with an angel that gives him a gift, the sword. The sword grants him basically like these powers, but abilities very small, but not big.
Yeah. Now, like I said, I know your comic book brand is small right now. It's independent, but as of right now, as far as getting your content out, because I know you like made some like little mini clips on your TikTok page. But have you reached out to any other content creators, other comic book artists, storyboard artists that just to compare notes or maybe even collaborate with?
Yeah, I've collaborated with oh man about phew, about 14 maybe 15 people so far. Um, Me and these guys, we started actually an indie team. It was 5 of us, I believe. Basically, we all took 2 of our characters in our own universes and we threw them in to a team. One of the pictures are on my page. We call the Black Star Vanguard.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, so I threw in Priest and I threw in my native Indian character Nico. She is basically like, well, I ain't gonna say basically. She can control all 5 elements. Basically, water, fire, earth, air, metal.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely came in contact, collaborated with a couple people, did a big joint I think it was like last year we did one. It was 14 of us. We did a collaboration. Priest is actually on a issue right now. He's on, this is the first time he's ever been on the front of a cover. It's called the Jump In Comics, and it's basically like this thrown together comic book universe of different indie characters, and he's on the cover of that. So that was a big blessing for that to be on the cover of that.
Yeah. Good job with that. I mean, like I said, the sky is the limit. And I actually thought about throwing my hat in the ring with doing animation because way back when I was in middle school, I had this idea for an anime called Teru and the Soul Captors, where it said I had I actually had 200 planned episodes, but I only wrote the script for the first 2 episodes, where he actually finds something called the Necklace of Binding Souls. That's what basically it's believe it or not, it's like I want to say it's Inuyasha combined with Yu Yu Hakusho and Ghostbusters. Basically, he traps the souls inside of a neck. Basically, he traps the souls inside of a necklace, and he fires this sword to help him slay all the Bufas, or help him slay all the apparitions and all the evil spirits. So I may or may not throw my hat in the ring with that. And who knows? Like I might be able to work with you later on down the line if I decide to get back into it. But like I said, mine is more of an anime, like a Japanese anime, more as opposed to an American comic book strip. But then again, look at a series like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like it's not anime, like actually straight from Japan, but it's anime-esque. Like it's created in America. It has American artists, but like you can tell the art style is heavily influenced by anime.
True. Yeah, that's true. That's crazy. You said something about the anime. We the guys that we formed our own little indie comic team. We are like once we get our storyline together, we're doing a couple more collaborations. Then we're going to do the book, which I think the book's gonna be 100 pages, split into two. I believe we decided, but we are talking about doing an animation later down the road, a
Mhm.
movie. So
Yeah.
like we're trying to get things together right now to get a little clip out there of our characters fighting people, and
Mhm. Do you have a script writer? Do you have like a storyboard or a script yet?
no, we ain't got that. Well, we started it. We started it so far, and uh, like I said, all of us have thrown into characters, so we've been just deciding what everyone's personalities. Like we've had to really talk with each other about our characters' personalities. Like we had to see who would be the leader of the team, and they said they wanted my character to be the leader. I guess because he has that Batman vibe, Black Panther
Mhm.
thing going for him, and this is the way he is. Like, but then we're just putting everyone together. The story's coming along. Uh, about 30% or 40% of it's done so far.
Awesome. Now, later on down the line, when you guys have flushed out your characters and your villains have more of a rogues gallery, and you actually have more heroes in your catalog, do you see you guys doing like an Avenger style crossover, or a Civil War type storyline, or maybe even an X-Men type of thing? Like you take just misfits from everything, and I can also see you guys doing maybe like a kids or teenage group of superheroes where they all meet up with each other. Like, but what are your ideas on that?
I actually that's crazy. In my comic book universe, I have already probably a good, probably 40 characters already, just like creating them and thinking about them. So I have a team that's like the X-Men, and for the indie team we got together, as far as I know, we might cross over to another collaborator. There's a lot of collaboration teams out there, and we ain't got to that far yet. We might switch over and not switch over. We might collaborate with them, but far as my universe, I'm gonna have a team that's almost like the X-Men. The story's actually gonna come after book. I believe it's gonna come after the second series that I'm gonna be working on after the first series, and it's gonna take off from there. And then there's this team I called I forgot the name of them, but they're gonna be like my X-Men team. Then I'm gonna have like an Avengers team too. But Priest, he's just all by himself.
Right.
He does his own thing as far as anything for right now, but he doesn't team up with no one other than probably people in the city.
Right. Now, I know, like, as somebody who I don't want to say former writer because I still got it in me, but as somebody who is a writer, creative writer, I know sometimes the creative writing process and illustration process can be hard. But like for you, what has been the hardest part about it? Have you gotten like writer's block? And have you had trouble struggling to find an original character or storyline? For you, what's been the toughest part about this?
It's difficult. I do get writer's block. I'm stuck. Actually, right now I have writer's block, and I have I'm still on. Like I know how I want this to end, but how I want the book to end and everything. But
Okay.
right now I'm just stuck on book. I believe book 2 right now. I'm stuck on, and I'm just like waiting for inspiration to come, trying to gather how I want to do it and everything. And oh, it really is a struggle. I will say, writer's block is a struggle.
Yeah, trust me, I know. But here's how I beat my writer's block. What I did was I went back to all those episodes. And I went back to all those, and then I saw what was missing, or I saw a hole that was missing. And then whatever was missing in one of those episodes or one of those stories, what I did was I took the missing thing, I filled in that hole with the next episode. So that way we can all collaborate. I can all coincide with each other. It's like, wait a minute. I like this episode and I like that episode, but there was something missing in between. And then you could use that later episode to fill that in. That's the best way to do that.
No, that's not a bad idea. Yeah. Yeah, everyone's different. I am struggling, but it's coming along. I started on one of my other characters' story. As my caught up almost with this one. I'm working on book 2 for that one. But yeah, after Priest, it's gonna be my Superman character. Then after that, it's gonna be like my Scarlet Witch character. Then after that, there's gonna be a team up between with all three of them. Priest is not gonna like it, but he's gonna have to. He's gonna have to do it.
Yeah, I mean, now when you do your TikToks, like, are you gonna do any voice acting or voice work, or voiceovers for the character?
No. I've been looking into that and stuff. I want to do a little small animation here soon, and I have to go on a site called I think it's Fiverr or something like that.
Mhm.
And you can go in there and find artists from like people that make beats, people that make music, songwriters, voice actors, illustrators. I've been going there for probably the past 6 months. Looking at people to do voice actings, and that you can go in there and find people that does animation. Some of it's worth it, some of it's not, but that'd be the site I go on. But I'm gonna be looking for voice actors here soon.
Now I know Priest is your voice. He's your love child. But like, as far as the character, like, how do you want him to sound? What do you want his voice to be like? Do you want him like? What is Priest? What is his name by day?
Well, since he comes from like a Christian family and stuff, his mom was real. She's real hinged on the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
So his real name is Amenadiel Smith.
Ooh.
Yeah, and as far as voice, it wouldn't be nowhere near Batman.
Yeah,
he would scare him, but not like Batman does. But voice. I don't know.
Do you want him to be calm, or do you want him to sound rough and gruff, or do you want him to be like a silent hero, a silent protagonist?
Ugh. From how I want him, it's gonna sound crazy. Mm-hmm. If you ever seen the originals,
mm-hmm.
He would be more like Elijah.
Oh,
he would be more like Elijah than anything. That would be his personality. That's the strongest way I can go. Is Elijah from originals.
That's awesome. And, yeah. Now, and this is a really interesting question: is how much of this character Priest do you see yourself in?
About only, scale 1 to 10, probably only a 4. I don't know, and he's not nearly nowhere as like me. I just wanted him a little more different than me, but he's like, he means well. He loves his city. He definitely loves his city, and loves his family. He's, like you say, he's my love child, whatever. But he's definitely nowhere near as like me.
Yeah, like I said, because you know how they say, like, if you have an idea or you have a character, something like that, every artist and illustrator, they put a little bit of themselves into the character, because that's how you know that it means something. But I'm glad to know that you can take inspiration from other things as well as put a little bit of your own heart and mind into the character. Or character. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, like that's going to be interesting to see, that movie. Yeah, but now I didn't want to keep you too long because we're already coming up on 20 minutes. But yeah, like there's a lot more that can go, like but we don't want to spoil too much for all the viewers that might be watching. But anyway, do you have any final thoughts before we close out tonight?
Well, just be ready for the cover. The cover will be getting started on actually this tomorrow. Actually, it gets started, or the guys will work on the sketch, and it's gonna be Priest's first issue cover. So it'll be some things in there from our city that you definitely will notice. Then after that, I got a couple more collaborations I'm working on. I got one from one of the guys that we're collaborating on an indie comics. he's going to team up with me with his street character, and then after that, I will be putting out. Actually, I'll be putting out next week. I'll be putting out my first. What is it called? Dinosaur character, so people can say.
Yeah.
But other than that, I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, it's not a problem. Also, before we sign out, I'm going to be uploading this on YouTube and on my Facebook fan page. But anyway, tell the audience who you are and where to find you.
Marcus Small. You can find me on Facebook at Marcus Black Panther Smalls not .com on Facebook, and my Instagram is Priest Comics. You can find me on that, or just look up Marcus Small. But
Well, Marcus, thank you, man. Like I said, I've known you for over 20 years, and you're a very talented brother in more ways than one. And there's not that many, black comic book artists, especially in our area, because, like I said, it's mostly people who want to, rap and do music and everything. But that's fine. But it's good to find a community of people like us, people who, have a fandom and who are kind of a little bit nerdy too. To have something like this to you as a platform.
yeah. My family, they know I'm different. They see I'm different. I'll be here with Funko Pops, figurines, and stuff, and they see how nerdy I can be. I'm sitting here, probably one of my prized possessions right here.
Yes.
This thing, but I appreciate it.
It's not a problem. Anyway, that'll wrap up this episode of Dreadman Interviews. Here I am with Priest Comics, aka Marcus Small. Anyway, until next time, the mic is mine, but the floor is yours. Peace.
I did this in a minute, man. Gotta go in for the people. You know how we do. You know what I'm saying? Below 0 ENT. Let's do it. Let's hear it. Go ahead. Now let me go in for a minute. Tell them lyrics about to kill them.